everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Cowboys going up against the Falcons. With that, let's get you over to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. You are looking live at the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down. Here's the offense, and I don't know what more you can say at this point in his career about Jason Witten.
You just give him full respect. This is a guy who knows how to do everything on the football field. Not just catch the ball, but huge in the run game with his blocking at the line of scrimmage.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott escaping the pressure right. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Here we go.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. It's a room to maneuver. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Come on, let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Let's just go ahead and state the obvious. You're going to want a big game out of that guy. Big-time run to get things started. But even more importantly, coming in on the road, trying to silence the crowd, take them out of it a little bit, slow down the emotions of the game, and get yourselves under control and feel like, yeah, we're going to be okay on the road.
It's a gain of 14 there, and it'll be a Dallas first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And, oh, he kicked it out of bounds. That's a big penalty.
And this is where the rest of the team turns and stares at the kicker and says, you have one job. Execute it.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
2nd down following the incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short. Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
He completes it to Julio Jones. A nice gain of 21 yards. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ryan. On the screen, this is Coleman. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get out to the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Prescott to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And it's going to be a short field to work with after this one. It's touchdown at the 45-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. On second down, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. He's got Sanu. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say you punt the football there.
So we're changing to analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them. And really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
This will be caught at about the 5. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Ryan keeps it on the sneak. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal, and the offense moving quickly to the line. On the keeper, here's Ryan. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan taking it in. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And out now come the Cowboys. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. That one goes for 38 yards. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, the receiver won in a big way.
Caught left side, Williams. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. He's got time in the pocket. He completes it to Bryant. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Looking to throw, Prescott, and that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And again, it's Prescott. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, it's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Now Prescott on 4th down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So they grabbed the lead just before half with a clock reading 0-0-0.
How about snatching things right at the end and grabbing a little bit of control? What a great way to go into the locker room. It's similar to a boxer flurrying in the last 30 seconds of a round and stealing the round. Great job.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. That incompletion allows me to get this stat in. You ready? Playoff stat. Home teams were 0-4 in the wild card games last year. This time, they rolled, winning all 4 games by 13, 18, 20, and 25 points. That's 76 combined.
I love your math. How about that? Now, the teams that got beat, they don't like the math so much. But how about how that shapes up the divisional round matchups now? We've got some big-time games coming up in the NFL.
Top 4 seeds on each side. Going to be fun. And he's taken down. Back back at his own 7. Sean Lee in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 92 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now it's 2nd and 7. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Prescott now on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Oh, design run for their wideout. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
As a defender, you're eager to be involved in every play. So when the action goes away from you, a lot of times you run after the ball.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends,
they've got his man complete. And with the big gain, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
This is Julio Jones. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And quickly, they get to the line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Ryan.
A reverse is never called just to get 1 or 2 yards. It's often called to get a big play. The defense was having none of it on that one. They snipped it out and stuffed it.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The left side completion to Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. To throw is Ryan. On the screen, this is Coleman. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Levine Toilolo, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons will extend their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to it.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Second down, Prescott. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. And now look at him go.
Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed in hip-hop, Sizzle and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west, now down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, roll those and throw your hands up. Pass me a cup of the club with the juice in the event out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow, working hard, cake and dough. Open up 24, we striving for that goal.
I'll stop for nothing, I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easy. Giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants, giants. Heart of David, you know it takes just one. It's time.
CNN, this is ghetto editorial. See me like milk and Oreos. Dipped inside the audio, platinum plaques in my portfolio. My lines are finest, they blow your mind like you could do what you wanna do, whether group or solo. Boston cold with a bowl of chili, summer cheesesteak on the roll in Philly. I'm a patriot, don't do a hatred. If you make that beef, I'll smack you silly. Back on up on this, before you with this, you better walk jumping off the building up. Yes, oh, got the heat up the show, face up the thermometer. I'm gonna take full control. Hey Paul, let him know.
I'll stop for nothing, I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants, giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants, giants. Heart of David, you know it takes just one.
Novus ordo seclorum, e pluribus unum. They changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us, they could not destroy us.
Are we dreaming the same dream of money, guns, and gasoline?
For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with everyone on my TV.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Newton's Panthers going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from Heinz Field. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now Newton on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain, and it's second down. And what about this offense, Charles? Specifically, what about Jonathan Stewart?
He makes sure everything goes. Put the ball in his chest and watch him run. Can run with power inside, but has enough speed that when he gets outside, he can cause a lot of trouble.
On second down, here's Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Look, I have to take a second here and talk about Greg Olsen, the tight end for the Carolina Panthers. Third straight year over 1,000 yards in receptions. And guess what? That's the
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. On the right side, caught by Green. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Now Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Here's the option going right. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
And making those linemen work with a couple of blocks. They look good doing it there. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and that brings up fourth down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They will go for it. Now Newton. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And now let's shift our attention back to the Pittsburgh offense. They had, as we mentioned earlier, Roethlisberger, Bell, Brown all out there for the playoff win. Those guys had all had a week off, and they had mentioned, you heard this during the broadcast, they were already preparing for Miami before they knew that was definitely the opponent.
When you have that luxury of knowing you're locked into your spot in the playoffs, you can do that sort of thing. As you mentioned, they rested their big guys against Cleveland. So the week of practice against the Browns, they worked worked against them, but they also started to look ahead and added in periods or used certain periods to prepare for the Dolphins and maybe another opponent they thought they might get. That's just good planning by Mike Tomlin, the head coach.
Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the one. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the two-point attempt is turned aside. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time, Newton to Benjamin. 61 yards. At 6'5", Kelvin Benjamin is so hard for defenses to deal with.
When you open up the dictionary and you look at that NFL definition of uncovering, you find Kelvin Benjamin. Just what you...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Jonathan Stewart, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Panthers have got it back to a one-score game. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Man, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now it's Roethlisberger. And caught right side, Green. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
Well, maybe a little of both.
Hey, when the playoffs begin, you always find out who's ready to go and who's ready to elevate their game and who the superstars are. And Antonio Brown fits that description big time. How about it? 2 of his first 3 catches, long-distance touchdowns against Miami. He was ready to go.
And remember, he's a Miami kid. He's born down there, but now fully adjusted to the cold temperatures.
Fully adjusted and truly one of the best receivers in the game.
You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. For Bell, a Steelers postseason record, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns in the wild card round. And, you know, he just showed such patience waiting for his blockers.
I think it works very well for him that these blockers have been blocking for Big Ben for a number of years. Because you know what they say about him. It's not the first 3 seconds of a pass play. It's the next 3 when he shakes someone off and creates. So they're used to holding blocks and doing something extra. They do the exact same thing for Le'Veon Bell because they know the results can be excellent.
So the chain gang now done for the drive ball on the and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Fozzie Whitaker now on the return. He's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Benjamin with it over the middle. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right?
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. 3rd and long, it's Newton. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart. 3rd down here. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. James Harrison in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bud Dupree in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Here's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation. And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. So 3rd and goal. The defense in the dime.
Can still bring pressure.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete.
All right, we got a minute here, partner. How about the matchups in the NFC divisional round? Seattle at Atlanta, a rematch of a game they played earlier this year that many thought Atlanta outplayed Seattle and should have won the ball game. And then go on to Green Bay, Dallas. There's not much history in that matchup, is there?
Yeah, that's the 8th time that they will be meeting in the playoffs. Cowboys won it earlier this year in Green Bay Week 6. Also, Falcons and Seahawks, that's a rematch of the 2013 divisional round.
I mean, I love those matchups. And remember, Dallas going to Green Bay earlier this year really heralded the fact that Dak Prescott had taken over the Cowboys team.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Newton again. They'll set up the screen for Stewart. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. From his goal line here, Newton. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And Pittsburgh. Not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. He's got his man here. It's Green. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Shift together here from the D-line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. 1st and goal from the 5. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Offense working with a 2nd and goal now from the 3. Bell. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Now, he rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And tough starting field position here. Now following the interception, here's Newton. He's going to float this one deep right. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off William Gay. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let this one go deep. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Here's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
It looks like, yes, it is. 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee you he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 14 there. And the Steelers are going to have a first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Here's Newton now on second down. Cameron Hayward in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot. There, the guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on fourth. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And from the 9-yard line now, it's first and goal. Here's Bell. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. They'll try again with Bell. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that sack brings up fourth and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case,
now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on fourth and goal. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on fourth and goal. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Roethlisberger looking to throw. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team. Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. A play fake to Stewart. It's Newton. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going to run. This is Stewart. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come up with one running back. That's Bell.